So Ashley Massaro accused McMahon, all right, of preying on wrestlers. Now there's some twists and turns to this. Let me go to the previous coverage. Here it is. According to an affidavit back in 2017, McMahon, after learning that one of his performers, Ashley Massaro, was allegedly raped by a military doctor during a WWE overseas tour, he allegedly told her to keep the incident confidential because it would in fact ruin the relationship between the WWE and the United States military. That young lady you're looking at, she later took her own life. She committed in 2019. Put up the picture. In a previously unpublished statement given before her 2019 death by panic, Ashley Massaro, a former WWE wrestler, said company founder Vince McMahon sexually preyed on female wrestlers and that she was punished for rejecting his advances by being given bad scripts she believed were meant to destroy her reputation, behavior, she said he was known for. The statement was given to her lawyers as they worked up a sworn affidavit published shortly after her death, in which she said she was raped on a military base while in Kuwait on a WWE tour, and that management covered it up. Now remember, WWE is being paid a lot of money by the military to have this kind of contract. The attorneys ultimately left it out because it wasn't relevant to central claims in the lawsuit, which they were representing her, which concerned concussions. As Vice News reported, WWE publicly denied that its upper management knew about the rape allegation, but that was untrue. A lawyer for former executive John Laurinaitis said that he and, quote, most of upper management were aware of it, a claim corroborated by previous statements from a former WWE doctor. In the previously secret statement, Massaro, who joined WWE in 2005, represented the company as a Survivor contestant and Playboy model, and ultimately was released in 2008, asserts that she saw McMahon making out with female wrestlers in the locker room, and then that he sexually harassed her. She also says that after she rejected advances, he wrote demeaning scripts, meaning this is now your role. This is the character you will play for her to perform, that she inferred were meant to end her career and destroy her reputation, something that she said had previously happened to another female wrestler before she left the company. Vice News is withholding the name of that person to protect her privacy. She could not be reached for comment. She also details two of McMahon's long-serving lieutenants counseling her on how to deal with his behavior. Let's put it up. So former WWE wrestler Paul London, who was Massaro's boyfriend during their tenure in WWE, spoke in an interview about how she was harassed by McMahon and that executive Kevin Dunn knew about it. Here it is.
Right. But I do remember specifically many times when she would be crying to me because Vince was propositioning her to fly on the jet with them. Like Kevin Dunn, Bucktooth Bucky would be telling her that she has to fly on the jet with him, or that he might, possibly, or every now and then, if she was at the, they'd always put the TVs up at the TV hotel or whatever. He'd be knocking on her door and, trying to get her to answer. And it's just like, I'm shocked this Vince stuff is just now coming out.
Wow. All right. So meanwhile, a spokesperson for TKO, WWE's parent company, declined to comment when provided a detailed accounting of the allegations in the statement and questions raised by it. A lawyer said to represent McMahon did not respond to a request for comment. Lawyers are shutting up. That's a first. Rumors have long circulated about a WWE casting couch in which women were put in position to either yield to the sexual demands of male managers or be humiliated on camera or fired or Both. They have been difficult to substantiate, in part because women believed to have been subject to such schemes have been hesitant to speak out for fear of retaliation from WWE, which until recently was controlled by McMahon and his family. Meanwhile, Janelle Grant's attorney, Ann Callis on the right, insinuated during a News Nation's interview that Grant wasn't alone, saying, quote, "My office and my inbox have had a barrage of people wanting to come forward to attest about this culture of corruption and also possible victims. We're just beginning now to wade through all of this, but we're frankly overwhelmed," end quote. Right? McMahon, Donald Trump's friend. Okay? Now we understand much of their connection. Hell of a thing. Senator, thoughts here?
Sad. It's not the first time. It won't be the last time.
Yeah.
Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. And we see in particular industries is more of a magnet to have this kind of abuse by men, and some women have engaged in this kind of sexual abuse and sexualized power over people in their careers. It is patently unfortunate and unfair that people comport themselves this way. And unless people are willing to speak up and speak out, it will continue. And the people who have the most power are the people who get the cover the most.
Yep.
Unfortunately, in these industries. So is this industry, Hollywood, anything to deal with acting and that sort of thing? But it also happens in politics as well. I mean, what we're talking about is as old as time.
Yep, you're right. All right. Light is the disinfectant to darkness.